busy day to get this record $351.7 billion state spending plan signed by the governor and enacted. This Wednesday, July 1st, is the start of the state's new fiscal year, so many discussions to be had leading up to that. The legislature pushed back on several health care funding cuts proposed by the governor as a result of cuts under H.R. 1. That included cuts to in-home supportive services, or IHSS, and delays in raising Medi-Cal premiums for undocumented immigrants. Some say that's Newsom kicking the can down the road for the next governor to make tough decisions.
Then they have policy changes that have to be made to state laws in order to implement all that spending. And that happens in about 24 bills. So either Mr. Becerra or Mr. Hilton will face the question of, do we want to implement any of those health and human service cuts? So they essentially have deferred those cuts until next year.
Some new additions in the three-party budget deal, a proposal to put the State Department of Education into the executive branch under the governor's administration. There's also a total of $900 million for HAP, the Homeless Housing Assistance and Prevention Program, $400 million more than what Newsom initially allocated to counties. The final budget also, as promised, provides over $40 million more for elections to increase staffing and for voter outreach and education. Keep in mind there has been lots of Republican pushback to the Democrats' budget. They don't like that state spending continues to exceed income or the new tax proposals. That includes increasing the state's MCO tax rate on private insurance plans, which is likely to result in higher monthly premiums of up to $100 a year. There's also a new tax on software as a service products. Democrats say the state needs additional revenue to make up for federal funding cuts, but Republicans argue Californians are already struggling with affordability.
We heard from a lot of members of the Democratic caucus that that was simply unacceptable and that we needed to step up to protect our vulnerable communities. So a lot of the work that we were doing is trying to soften the blow of those federal cuts to protect families here in California. Unfortunately, we're not in a position to backfill every federal cut, but we do feel a responsibility to try to protect our communities.
While the state has always talked about cuts coming from the federal administration, there are nothing that actually looks like we're running out of money. We have more money than we've ever had before, and yet we believe that some of the priorities are off in this budget.
Democrats don't need the support of Republicans to get this passed due to the Democrats' supermajority, but still many more discussions and votes to be had until the governor will sign the bills once they reach his desk. At the state capitol, Jenny Ha, News 8.